Welcome to Monkey's World. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about July. I've been working my tail off. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 still left to write for July. This is the rest of June. Oh, it's Monday. We have a video today, which is going to be this one, I think. Yeah. No, this one. There's Nora, and then there's no, Catherine, then Nora, then John Doe 24. Okay. So we have one we need to do today. So let me take Catherine out. And I'll do that right after. And I'm actually going to make the posters for the last two. So I want to give you kind of a preview of what's going to happen next month. So, it's not going to be a full-on preview because I'll do that on the channel. On that channel. And I will show you that I am constantly looking for cases. That's what that is. Did you see it? That's just one pile. One pile. I have an entire, one of those brown expander files with them in it too. Next month, one of the does is going to be a group of does that were victims of Hurricane Camille, which were just put on the Doe Network this year. So, which means they were just put in NamUs too. So that's written. All the does are written for next month. So, and there's 4. But there's 5 Mondays and 5 Wednesdays. So there's a lot of cases next month. There's 10 regulars and 4 Doe Fridays, so that's 14 cases. That's insanity. Anything I find really interesting. I've got 2 cases out of New York. I got an Illinois. I have an American Indian case, which, or Native American, whatever you might want to call it. I'm not calling the person an it. I'm saying whatever you want to call it, as in whatever you call the ethnicity. That's what I'm referring to as it. And I got some pretty interesting ones, I think. Oh, excuse me. I have another mother-daughter case. Just forgot a letter on the end of the name. Sticking out like that. I have terrible handwriting, but I'm very particular about it. I got one out of Hawaii, which may be a first for me. Oh no, I've had one before, I think. But so. And the does from Oklahoma, Indiana, Texas, and Hurricane Camille out of Virginia. So, I know Hurricane Camille kind of wrecked the southeastern seaboard. What I'm going to do, in addition to the does that I have, is I'm going to look up Hurricane Camille and get a little bit of background on her, so that where the heck did anyway. So that I have a little bit of background on the storm itself. Anyway. You know, because I'm talking about victims of the storm. So, I know it was 1969, but that's really all I know. So I will work on that today as well, to add to that. Those are up there, by the way. Okay. So, wow, it's early. I am going to end the video here because I want to get to work on that stuff, and I need to do the Catherine Hall video first, but and I do have that lady coming to pick up some stuff. I'm restoraging the love because she lost a storage unit, so I'm trying to help her get her life back. And I'm glad I can do that. So, I will see you tomorrow. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please subscribe to both channels and check out today's video on Kidmissing. Thank you so much. Hit the bells. And like I said, I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you guys. Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I'm your your host, Angelina Wilson. This is the case of Catherine Hull. It all starts with a horrifying find on West Mountain in the Berkshires, the Pittsfield State Forest. A hunter named Howard Boland was out on the mountain December 1943 when he made the horrifying discovery. In the crook of a tree, seemingly staring out at him, sat a human skull. He said he stood petrified. He couldn't move. So he got the rest of his hunting party, and they were able to unearth more human bones, slightly covered by the base of the tree, and they called police. And when State Trooper John Horgan got there, and the skull was identified as a young female, he immediately thought of the case of Catherine Hull. She'd been missing for 7 years. She was 22 years old. She was a stenographer from Syracuse, New York. So 7 years earlier. 41, 40. So about 1936. Yeah. On April 2nd, 1936 is when she disappeared. She went to walk on the old road toward Pittsfield. And when she didn't return, of course, her parents called the police, and her parents set up a $1,000 reward. $1,000 in 1936. Let's look that up. It's equivalent to $22,594.89. Holy crap. That's a lot of money. They thought maybe she had amnesia. They said she had bouts of melancholy, which would be depression. So what does that have to do with... Here's the description they gave of her. Quote, very quiet, seldom smiles, concentrates deeply, religious, cannot be drawn out in conversation, not apt to talk about herself or confide in anyone, very polite and well-mannered, quite attractive, but sober-faced. Wow. Very neat in her dress and appearance. Any peculiar traits are not objectionable, and is a girl who could not be disliked. If seen on the streets, she walks quite fast with peculiar up-down motion. Walks with eyes straight ahead as if sighting something in the distance and hurrying to get there. The lieutenant immediately contacted Syracuse authorities when the skull was found. Oh my God. They were trying to get her dental records. This is what happened. She had had 3 dentists. One retired and moved. One had passed away. And one had been murdered. They finally were able to obtain a dental chart. And there were enough similarity that it almost removed all doubt that the skeletal remains found on the mountain are those of Catherine Hull. Quote, unquote. He's holding the skull in his hand in a picture in the newspaper. That's insane. I wouldn't show it to you except you really can't tell what it is. They would not do that today. Well, maybe they would. I don't know. Anyway. In 1972, it was written in the Berkshire Eagle, quote, to this day it's not known definitely who died in the mountain forest long ago. If the skeletal remains were her, interestingly, they're talking about Michael Dooling. I actually had him on my show. He wrote a book. Called Coolest in New England. And they're talking about it in 2016. I'll try to put an Amazon link to the book. He believes it was a serial killer. All three women? Yeah, except that Connie wasn't a woman. She was a 10-year-old the size of an adult. Her father was extremely tall, and she was 5 feet tall at 10. So I guess there's still some doubt as to whether that was her or not. No phone numbers. Case is too old. That being said, I will link Michael's book. I will also... Oh, wait. I don't know if my podcast is still... I don't think it was one of the ones that survived the butchering by Blog Talk. Anyway, unfortunately. So, even if they wanted to remove them, they should have let me download them. You know what I mean? I should have still had access because it was my intellectual property. Even if they didn't want to give the public access, I should have had access to move it somewhere. It's just my opinion. What do you think? Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell. We're trying to get to 500 by the 4th of August. And 200 over on the other channel by the 4th of July. So, I will see you Wednesday for the case of Nora Fuller, and Friday for an updated look at the case of John Doe number 24. So please join me for those. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.